My first thought when I realized that classes would be online this year was that, oh, it's going to be high school all over again.
I didn't fully anticipate the level of detail intricacy to the system that they'd have going by now, and I'm really grateful for the time and attention they've put in.
I actually wasn't too sure how it would work out. It was kind of just like uncharted territory.
I think first I would go, Sophia, it's going to be okay. And the minute, right off the bat that I started my classes and going to tutorial, I felt immediate support from the King's community, from my tutors, administration, faculty.
All of us are in this together, and it's okay if it feels like you're a stranger to the technological world.
If I could tell myself one thing, I would remind myself to start finding strategies for self-care from then, so that when I came to university, I could just carry those forward.
Sometimes I really struggle with in-person lectures and the fact that I can't stop and rewind, and I'll be taking notes and I'll be so into the notes that I'll miss what the teacher has just said and I won't be able to go back. So I'm almost like thinking about it now, I'm like, why didn't we just record classes earlier? Like it makes sense.
I think one thing I really enjoy about online classes is how everything is up on a web page, so you can kind of see your progress as you follow along. And that's something I love to see, is just keeping track of where I'm at.
As time went by, I started seeing that there are actually benefits in online learning, especially being able to repeat lectures and take everything at your own pace.
These are such incredibly unusual circumstances and unusual times that we're in. And I think that that's inevitably going to affect how we receive our education and our knowledge and our experiences. It's about moving past that and taking things as a new perspective and adapting to those situations, which I think is a very valuable thing.
The way that we approach people, the way that we interview people, and the way that we handle the practice of journalism is still inherently the same subject. I mean, I'm not going, like for instance, my last project was covering a live event. It wasn't necessarily me going to a Remembrance Day ceremony. It was me just watching it online, which isn't quite the same, but you're still, okay, now I got to figure out how to get sources, but get sources online rather than in person. There's maybe a barrier there to how we execute journalism, and maybe that's, in essence, I would hope that that's a better learning in some ways, because you have to really work through those barriers.
We always knew that we were going to be going into the fall and learning about statistical analysis, right, as the main purpose, and how to work with numbers and stuff like that. And so certainly I think COVID has affected that, because it's given us some very on-the-nose data.
I know for me, taking the program at this time and just being at university in general is something that will be there despite everything changing around it. It's really interesting to look back on themes from the ancient times and look on how people then responded to conflict. Having those books to go to, they're a stable source of inspiration, and being able to debate all those things at the same time is just, it's just really, it's gonna always be there.